because they have these like cement platforms and stuff. This is where everything has to do. So. Oh my goodness, this is so freaking cool. I don't know what that was. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to New York City. Today, we are in the outskirts. This doesn't look like New York City because we're really out there right now. I'm in the middle of Queens right now, or on the edge of Queens. And today we're going to be exploring a bunch of really cool sites, specifically Rockaway Beach and Fort Tilden that are in this area. Make sure that you subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss a single video because I'm covering every notable area here in New York City and compiling it into one giant guide. Before we do any of that, let's roll the intro. Right, the vlog begins. We are here. I actually don't know exactly where we are, but that's why I brought my two local friends.
Hey! I don't know where we are either, for the record. I'm just following him.
This is Jon Barr from Here Be Bar.
Hi.
He's experiencing for the first time with me here today as well.
Yeah.
Are you excited for this stuff?
Very, very. I got my hiking pants on and hiking shoes.
I'm wearing my normal pants.
What's that right there?
It says Great and Explore.
Jacob Carlson, king of the vlog.
Hey,
He's got
what's up,
merchandise now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Where are we, Jacob? What the hell are we doing today?
We are technically right now still in Brooklyn, but we're right on the edge of Brooklyn and Queens, and we're going to a place called Dead Horse Bay. I'll give you some history once we get there, but it's really cool looking. There's lots of old stuff.
Super excited. We're doing a little boy adventure today. Hanging out in the nature. We all got hiking boots on. We're excited. Look at this. This looks so cool. So let's begin this day.
Where's John?
So we're just taking this nice brisk walk through these big stalks of whatever this plant is. We're just walking through right now to reach this beach. So we've made it out to Dead Horse Bay. There's a lot of history here that Jacob Carlson, king of the vlogs, is gonna give us in just a moment. He said it's pretty much a disgusting beach, first impressions. It's just gross. It's just a lot of garbage everywhere. But there's a reason for that.
Garbage is special, Paul.
Yeah? Tell us about why this garbage is special, Jacob.
So back before cars existed, New York, like many cities, ran on horsepower. And when those horses, there were abundance of horses getting people everywhere, when they would become lame or die, they would take the horses and they would process them. They'd use different parts for different things, and they'd turn the hooves specifically into glue. And so right here, you can see all the little wooden beams and that kind of stuff. There were horse rendering plants on the water right here. And so you see, there's actually right there a little horse hoof. It's not a little one, but there's a horse hoof on the sand. So after all the horse rendering plants closed down, this place was sort of a landfill, and for a long time. And it started, I think, in like the 1930s. And so that's why this place is special, because all the bottles and a lot of the garbage is really, really old. Bottles that are super old. People come out here, gather the bottles, clean them up, and put them in their apartment as decoration, that kind of stuff. So it's garbage, but it's special antique garbage.
I'm a huge sucker for like antiques and antiquities and old historic stuff, but this is next level, guys. This is really weird. It's really cool that you could just come here and just have all this like history, essentially. I mean, it is garbage history. It's just garbage just thrown around. John and Jacob kind of found this little inlet walking along. Like, look at this bottle. Look at that thing. That's pretty cool. So we have taken a bus. You just ride the bus. You could use your normal New York City Metro card to ride it out all the way out here. And this area is called Fort Tilden. And we are going to jump into doing some more like urban exploring now, exploring some abandoned buildings. I really don't know much about what's going on. Jacob's been here a few times. John's seen videos and research, and I know nothing about this, so I'm gonna let them kind of guide us through this. But what kind of happens now? Where are we right now?
So right now we're in the area of Fort Tilden, which is where I believe all of the people who were stationed on this base when it was actually a military base lived. You can still see there are houses where people still live. There's old buildings, old church, and that kind of stuff. This is actually a community arts center, but behind it is an abandoned warehouse, and if all goes well, we'll be able to get into there pretty easily, and then we're gonna do some more after that.
Now I'm about to start.
Look at this. This is so crazy. I haven't been to many abandoned buildings and stuff in my life, but this is pretty cool. But we're not supposed to tell people to come here technically, right?
I mean, don't come here.
Yeah.
You can come here sometimes. Last time I was here, they had an art installation. It's not unsafe to be in here, but it's also just not open to the public generally.
So we're saying don't come here. That's our official stance.
But we're here, but don't come here.
What are you doing up there?
I'm gonna go see if it's safe to stand up on the second floor here.
Look at this. You're gonna want to get a tetanus shot if you come here. So Jacob was telling me that this right in front of me right now is a milling machine. It's got a bunch of rust growing all over it, but it's like a very antique machine. And somebody has come and coined it the love machine. Like lots of metal creaking going on. This is one of the reasons we're saying don't come here, because there's like a wooden floor with holes in the ground that you can literally fall through to the ground from here. Where are we going?
What?
Can you give me a little more history about this place? Because I'm really confused. Because we just left site number 1, which was a warehouse that we're technically telling people not to go to.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want this whole video to just be an impression that you guys are like not allowed to come to these places. Get in here, Mr.
No, so now what we're doing, we are walking. We're walking through the part of Fort Tilden where it's like a lot of overgrowth and old bunkers and buildings and that kind of stuff. But this is actually an area where it's okay for people to come. So Fort Tilden Beach is that way. It's sort of the hipster beach in New York. It's a cool beach, but not a lot of people know about it. We'll see that. But you can see there's a nice little path. People bring their dogs, their families out here. If you want to come and explore this is the place to come. You can still see a lot of cool bunkers and old buildings, but in a more safe, controlled, easier to access way. But I'll show you some cool specific stuff when we get to it.
Cool.
Yeah, there's some cool trivia. And
Can we put our hands in? 3, 2, 1. Adventure Boys. This is just one of those buildings. It's an abandoned building. There was a whole group of railroad tracks that connected this whole base together. Oh my God, that is so freaking cool. So this is the kind of loading area that Jacob was talking about. So they would have trains and stuff pass through here in the middle, and then they would load stuff up from the sides and then move them on to the next location. And Jacob was giving us a little word of advice, especially for those of you guys who are tourists who are gonna come here, about the structure.
Be careful. You can see the ceiling is sort of collapsing in, so just be aware of that. Don't walk under areas that look like they're going to collapse, and definitely don't lean on any posts. You can see they're sort of really rusted out. Just walk through here. Don't touch anything.
All right, so we got building number 2. There's actually a few entrances into here. I'm taking a different route that Jacob was taking.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, right? This is like another one of those train slash whatever would come through here and just load up stuff. All right, so John actually made a really good point right now. If you are coming here and you're visiting, do not come without like proper closed-toed, preferably hiking shoes, something like this. Ow, I just pulled a muscle. Something like this, guys. Get some proper hiking shoes to come in here, because there's a lot of glass and debris and rusted metals and stuff on the ground, and you don't want to step on that. Remember, this thing can be a really enjoyable activity, but it could also be really horrible for you if you don't do it safely and correctly. It's another one of those buildings. The roof's a little more intact here, and there's way more graffiti. So where we come up to right now is called Battery Harris. This, I don't care what anybody said this circle's for. Jacob's gonna tell us in a second, but I'm confident it's a cover-up from the US government. They were totally doing flying saucer activity in here.
This circle, and in there was a massive anti-air, anti-ship gun.
Battery Harris, this is the highest point in Fort Tilden where you can come get a nice view, and we're just standing atop it getting the marvelous view. We have views of the ocean, we have views of New York City, we have views of the Verrazano Bridge, but this was all set up by the city, so this is totally legal, totally cool for you guys to climb up here and come see it. Once again, be careful with everything that you do in this area, but come take a look. Check out Jacob, check out City, check out John. We got another building. I think this might be building number 3 or 4 now. Stumbled upon this. This doesn't look like the classic ones that we've been coming across. This looks a little different. Looks more like maybe like a bunker almost. Whoa. Okay, so it just reaches out here to the other end. Very cool. Heading through an area called the Dunes now. They're so cool. They remind me a lot of some dunes that I've walked around through in Santa Cruz in California, where there's elephant seals just beached on these like sand dunes. It looks exactly like this right now. We're heading to a bunker up there, but we took a little detour to stop here, especially if you're in the summer. I think come out here with a little barbecue, come out here with some food, set up a little picnic. This would be a great little retreat if you're in New York City for a while. So this is the bunker that we're about to head into. This is one of those that we can't tell you guys to go in. We're gonna go in because we're trained professionals, but you are not supposed to go in here. So don't go in here if you come to Fort Tilden.
Knowing where the secret entrance was. I can't see you at all.
Entered the sandy bunker, and we're gonna go in because I have great low light on this camera. We're actually gonna be able to show you guys the full experience here, and we're using some lights as well to light our way in.
Like I can show you where the offices were, but I think it was just storage.
What do you think, Joe? It's pretty cool, huh? surprised by how deep this place goes. Oh, this is gnarly. Crazy.
So this is probably, yeah, so when the guys, it's like the barrack.
So we're inside of a bathroom right now in here. It looks pretty gnarly. Doesn't look really that nice. I wouldn't want to poop here. Jacob, this is all part of the army bunkers that used to be here?
I'm not sure which branch of the government, but yeah, this is all part of Fort Tilden.
Oh, whoa. Stairway to heaven.
They have these like cement platforms and stuff. This is where everything has to do.
Oh my goodness, this is so freaking cool. All right, we're gonna leave this super creepy bunker and head out to the outside world. Can I hand you guys my camera?
Yeah, watch out for jagged metal.
We're gonna have a hard time getting through here.
Jacob, could you wait for me? I'm just gonna come up in a second.
No, this is spiky, it hurts. All right, so what we're heading into right now is a little pillbox. Jacob, what's a pillbox?
A pillbox is a small cement box with usually a small slit in it where people would fire. So if you have seen Saving Private Ryan, there were tons of pillboxes on beach Normandy. Normally they're on beaches like this, and it was just a more secure way for people to defend a beach or some sort of like point. So you see them on coastlines a lot.
So we're actually heading into this pillbox, but we have to take a ladder in there.
We are about to take
It's right in there. It's pretty exciting to take a little climb right into that little hole. Welcome to the pillbox, my friend. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's nothing crazy impressive. I don't know if I would even say it's worth climbing the ladder right into here.
Are you kidding me?
You think
For
so?
me, for me, so like this honestly looks like Normandy. Imagine just the opposite side of the Atlantic in France.
I'm gonna jump.
No, I think it'd be easier to sit and then.
Right, we exited the pillbox, won an adventure. We're done here for Fort Tilden. We are now moving on to another place called Rockaway Beach, which right now, definitely not the season to be visiting it because it's winter. It's definitely a summer paradise here in New York City. But we're gonna jump off to Rockaway Beach right now. So we have come down to the neighborhood of Rockaway now. I'm conjoining this into here as well. So besides the Fort Tilden area that we were in, Rockaway is closer. And you can come here for beach time, but in the summer it should be very packed. Surfing frenzies left and right. It is the place to come and surf in New York City. You have anything else to add?
Yeah, Rockaway is definitely the most popular beach for New Yorkers. It can get a little crowded during the summer, but it is really cool. It's a nice beach. The one thing I will mention, if you come here during the summer, parking sucks. You have to find street parking, and there's not a lot of it, so be prepared to drive around for a while.
I want to add something. Last summer, they added a ferry service, which is the cost of a subway swipe. And I took it. It takes like 45 minutes from downtown Manhattan. Awesome ride. And it's so much better than taking the subway, in my opinion. So I recommend the ferry. Bring your camera. Awesome photos as well. You go under some of the bridges. It's really cool.
What we're gonna do right now, because it's winter time, we're not gonna head on to the beach. We are going to get some food, and we're gonna go to Rockaway Brewing Company, right? And we're gonna get some beers and some food, and it should be a great time because we are hungry boys. So we've come on down to Rockaway Brewing Company. We got ourselves some beers, and we just ordered some burgers because that's what they have on sale today.
I don't know what Tall said about me, but all of it is true and none of it is true. But you should subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, because I drink his beer, so just do it.
We exited Rockaway Brewery, but we're gonna check out one little food spot right now, and then we're gonna head on home. So we've come to a place called Goodies. I got myself a fried chicken drumstick and a Jamaican beef patty. And this place is just like Caribbean soul food. They got macaroni and cheese, the collard greens, fried chicken, ting that Jacob wanted. I'm gonna try this out. Here we go. Actually, it was like $1. Beef patty was like $1. And you'll have a good time here at Rockaway if you come and eat here. How's that Jamaican beef patty? Good, huh? But that's gonna be the end of this video, guys. Rockaway Beach, that's where we're ending this video. I want, before we do anything else, for you guys to go check out Jon Barr, Hebrew Bar, down in the description below. Check out Jacob Carlson, down in the description below. King of the vlogs, everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. We're gonna see you in the next one though. I wanna remind you guys to subscribe and turn those notifications so you don't miss a single video because we're covering every notable neighborhood here in New York City. As well, if you wanna support this channel, look at this merchandise, you can buy it. It's on screen right now or in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. A goodbye, claps.